Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa alihi wa sahbihi ajma'een. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. My dear brothers, sisters, respected elders, friends, family, wherever you are, I hope you are well, inshallah. Alhamdulillah, in today's video, I'm going to share with you my experience of going Umrah. Alhamdulillah, I've literally just come back a week ago and that feeling, that buzz is still with me. So I thought, let me just make this video and share with you my experience, and hopefully you can share that same experience too, maybe relate to it. And if you haven't been already, then maybe get something out of this video. And if you have been already, you will know exactly what I'm talking about, inshallah. So where do I start? Umrah, what kind of journey it is, honestly speaking, I can't put it into a sentence of words, apart from saying it's been a miracle journey, honestly speaking, right? It's something I've been planning for many years. Every single year, like I'm talking about maybe 10 years, right? Every single year I plan on going. You know, the typical examples I can give you, I'm going to go at the end of the year when it's colder, November, December, January, when I have a bit of money, I have a bit of time, holiday, etc., etc. And every single year something's come up, right? Either, you know, one of my kids are having an exam or doing an exam. We had a house move, work's been really busy, couldn't get holiday, had a year when I was sick, etc. So every single year there's some kind of excuse that comes up. Sometimes I might have the money, but I have time, might have time but not the money, etc., etc. This time around, I'm telling you, right, that friend that I went with, right, the group of friends that I went with, if you're watching this video, right, every time we talk about this particular conversation, right, I think back at that conversation, I think to myself, how did it happen? Like, how did that conversation come about? I can't even remember that. Like, why did we have that conversation about Umrah? And how did it happen from there? So as far as I can remember, I had no intention, like I had an intention but no plans on going Umrah. And I don't know what brought up the conversation. Maybe the brother was like talking about he went Umrah, and then the conversation just led from that. And then I can't remember the exact moment that I said, right, let's go. But I think he asked me like, let's go. And I'm like, yep. And from there, I can't remember the exact way it happened, but all I know, next minute I'm planning on going, okay? Or decided that I want to go. So the intention that I'm going. Now, without kind of thinking, you know, when you want to do something, right? Especially with me, when I do something, I always try to think about the pros, cons. I try to put everything together and then make a decision. But there it was like, yeah, I'm going. I just felt it. So I didn't have any money for Umrah, meaning that I didn't like put any money together for Umrah. I didn't plan. Even the holidays weren't booked. I didn't even speak to my family about it. It was like, I'm gonna go. That's it. And honestly, it felt like the right time. Like all the other times, it felt like, I don't know, I'm not feeling the vibe. Do I want to go? It's a big ask. It's a big trip. Who am I going to go with, etc. I've had opportunities to go with other groups. Like, so from my madrasa, there was a group that was going. They're like, yeah, do you want to come with us? I was like, yeah, you know, never felt right. But this time I felt right. And believe it or not, I was going with people that weren't even lifelong friends. Like, I haven't known them for a long time. One of the brothers I didn't know at all. I just knew of him, his name. The other brother, I kind of knew him from kind of work and stuff, but they weren't like best friends that I've had since when I was growing up, or school friends, or I've known for a long time. So for me, it was like, I'm going with people I don't even know. So skipping a little bit forward, so in terms of the financial part, honestly speaking, right, only I can tell you this, but the way it happened, honestly, like, I didn't have any money at all. I had like money to spend for shopping and bits and pieces, but to put like the how can I say, the target was £2,000. To put £2,000 together like that, it was quite tricky, right? And this is like without putting on card and stuff. Like, there was just getting cash together after all the other expenditure I had in the month. And I'm telling you, it just came. You know, work wise, I got my bonus through for work. And I just really started putting money together. Like every time I come home, I put £5, £10, and before I knew it, I had like £500 saved up. And then, you know, I saved up more money. You know, I started cutting back on stuff that really I didn't need, and you know, I started putting money aside. And before I knew it, the total money that I needed was there. It just came together, subhanAllah. So I just want to tell you something, like you know, everything that occurs in our life. Sorry, I got a bit of a cold, right? Everything that happens in our life, every single thing, smallest, little, tiniest little thing we can imagine is a miracle of Allah. Is a miracle of Allah. Without Allah's will, it wouldn't happen. And I'm not trying to sound like a preacher or a teacher or anything like that. I'm telling you, right? When something gets taken out of your hand and it happens automatically, it just feels like, what's going on? That's what it feels like. Like, how is this happening? So anyway, I got the money together. The brother, Alhamdulillah, you know, he put the whole thing together for me because they've been before. So for me, I didn't have to worry. I'm going with people that are knowledgeable, and you know, they knew how to plan it, how to go about it, what to do when we get there. I mean, I had no knowledge about how to do Umrah. Honestly speaking, I feel a bit embarrassed saying it now, but Alhamdulillah, I'm glad that I'm saying it. Like even going the tawaf around the Kaaba and stuff, I had no idea. No idea what to say, what to do. Even wearing the ihram, the two pieces of cloth, I didn't know that I even need that, subhanAllah. Like, I've seen people wear it, but is it necessary? How to put it on? The etiquettes of ihram, for example, like not being able to put perfume on afterwards, or, you know, where to put it before the miqat point, you know, the area before you even enter Mecca. You need to have it on before that. I didn't know all this. This came to me a lot later. Anyway, so all that, it was a steep learning curve. So I had to kind of get these books. I've got a book somewhere in the room that tells you what Umrah is right from the beginning, right? How to do certain things, what to do, what to expect, etc. So I had like 4 months to get everything together, so that I had basic knowledge. But even with the brothers I went, they're like, don't worry, when you get there, trust me, it will just all fall into place. You don't have to be worried about not knowing what du'as to read, not knowing like Arabic. If you know basic Quran, just know the basic surahs and stuff. That's fine. Just go there and it will all come to you. It will come to you. You don't have to sit there and start memorizing pages of Quran, memorizing all the du'as. I even got myself a little du'a book. Like, it has what to say when you put your ihram on, what to say when you enter the masjid, what to say when you see the Kaaba for the first time. All these things. I had it in a little like a little booklet, and I was hanging it off my neck, and it really helped. I'm telling you, it really helped. So I was like, yep, we're at the Kaaba now. Like, kind of like, what do I say? But honestly speaking, even seeing the Kaaba, I'm not even going to describe it here. You have to go and do it yourself. Like, well, the first time you see the Kaaba, the way I can describe it, I'll just quickly describe it to you how it felt. It just felt like a train or a plane or a mount. The best way I can describe it, forget train or plane, a mountain just boom hitting you on your head. Right? If you've seen the Kaaba from a picture or from a video or anything else, right? It seems so small. Like, you see the Masjid al-Haram, you see the Masjid, and the Kaaba is tiny in the middle. You see people go around it, right? Even you see it on YouTube, you know, Makkah Live. When you see it for the first time, wow, it's just that overwhelming feeling. It's like, boom, it dominates you. Even the Kaaba isn't as big as the Masjid, but here, so when the Masjid shrinks and the Kaaba's in front of you, it's huge, right? Honestly, you have to experience it. So, with the whole, like, you know, when people say you go there's a big crowd and etc., right? There is a crowd of people, but all these kind of things, like the hardships that you might think of, you don't feel it when you're there. Honestly speaking, it's like that unity is like, I'm in the center of the world. Center of the world. That's exactly what it is. You're in the center of the world, right? And your brain. No, this is me speaking, right? I don't know about other people. Let me describe it from my own perspective. My brain felt like it's everything else in life is just switched off. It's like gone. Everything is on hold, and I'm here. This is all that is here, right? It's a very strange feeling. You know, my mind kind of like literally was like in a zone where it was just, I'm there and that's it, nothing else. SubhanAllah, the tawaf itself, you know, it's, yeah, I mean, people say, you know, you go and touch the Kaaba, which I did because of my friends, honestly, right? They're like, they gave me a promise, like, you're going to touch the Kaaba. Now, you don't have to go and touch the Kaaba. It's not something that if you don't do, your Umrah is not complete. No, you don't. Even in touching or kissing the black stone, you don't have to do that, right? It'll be nice. I just wanted to go and feel what it's like. And to be honest, even though there was a loads of crowd of people, we didn't have to kind of fight or be angry, because the advice I got from people being there, like, you know, bro, don't go there and push and shove and, you know, wrestle with people to get to the Kaaba. You'll see people, when they're there at the front, they're very passionate. I don't think anyone's angry. They're very passionate. You know, they've been probably waiting for this moment for their whole life and stuff like that. And yeah, I mean, it'd be nice, but you don't have to. You don't have to at all. Your Umrah is nothing less if you don't, right? I don't want to quote the exact hadith, but, you know, the reason why we kiss the black stone is our beloved Prophet ﷺ, you know, he was seen to do that. So, but it's not for example, an obligatory act of Umrah. You don't have to do that. You know, you can stand right at the back and, you know, even on the first floor, you can just put your hand up and say Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, Allahu Akbar, and that's it. Basically, that's all you have to do, right? Just acknowledgement that you've kind of given a salam to the stone, that you're there at the corner. But everything else will come to you. Like, once you start know what to do when you're there, you'll see people raise their hands. You kind of see this green light. The green light is there to indicate that's where the place is, the stone. So, you know, you just look up. Literally, you just look up and you'll know where the green light is. So, you know, you just kind of follow people and just do the same. And even with the du'as, I'm telling you, right? Do what du'a comes to you. So in terms of du'a, for example, like, you know, people will say, ask for good health. You don't go there and ask, well, this is me. I didn't ask and say, Ya Allah, make my health better, right? I have a problem with my back. So I'll be like, Ya Allah, I have a problem with my back, make my back better. Be specific. Be specific, right? So if you're doing education, and let's say you're doing psychology, economics, whatnot, and you're really slacking in economics, say, Ya Allah, you know, I want to do better in economics, whatever, yeah? So you can be specific. And, you know, you go around 7 times. The way my friend, right, I'm telling you, this brother, right, I keep calling him a friend. Here's my brother. Here's my brother from another mother, subhanAllah. So, yeah, he was like, make each tawaf a different dua for something. For the first one, praise Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Second one, send salutation of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you know, upon his family, upon his companions. Third one, do it for this, do it for that. Fourth one, and just, you kind of have different du'as for different. You don't have to memorize a certain du'a. Honestly, you don't. There is one called Rabbana Atina, but that's a very common one that you probably read anyway. But if you don't know it, honestly speaking, there's nothing wrong with just taking out. If you don't have to take a booklet, just write it down. I took a A4 piece of paper. I wrote du'as down on it if I need. Honestly speaking, I didn't take that piece of paper out. I didn't need it. It was just like, it was in my bag, and I was like, you know, I just made my own du'as. Alhamdulillah. So, honestly speaking, you don't need to memorize nothing. Just go with the flow. Just go with the flow. What else? So once we've done our Umrah, the tawaf, which is you go around the Kaaba, we go and drink Zamzam water. Now, honestly speaking, Zamzam water, right? It's the only thing I drank when I went to Mecca, Medina, right? Honestly, like, it's not like normal water. That water is, imagine this is a blessing. It's a shifa, meaning that it cures. When you drink it, it's so light. It's so light, as in it doesn't taste like heavy water. You drink it and it's, I can't even describe to you. So literally you drink Zamzam after you do a tawaf, and then, you know, you pour a little bit on your head if you have to, and it just feels bliss, honestly. And I was literally, every time I went past, there's tanks everywhere. There's this little water dispensers everywhere, right? You go and just there's plastic cups everywhere. You go and drink. There might be a bit of a queue and whatnot, but you'll eventually just get to it. You know, you just drink it, and no matter how much you drink, like, this is me speaking, right? When I drink water, it goes through me. I need to go to the loo, right, to the toilet, if I drink lots of water. But when I was drinking Zamzam, I didn't need that. It just literally, it's like it dissolves into my soul, into my bloodstream, subhanAllah. And you do that, and then you go to the Safa Marwa, which is where you walk 7 times up and down. Honestly, I'm just giving you like an overview, and you walk up and down. Now, I mean, some people wear sandals. Personally, I did it barefoot. Okay. Obviously, I'm not a walker. People who know me, I'm I wouldn't say lazy, but I use my vehicle to go everywhere. I might go down to shop. I'll take my car or my van. I'll go there, and I'm not a walker. But this, even though you're walking up and down, it may feel like it's a long walk. It's not, because everyone else is doing it, and you're in that kind of blessed moment. These kind of hardships don't come to you. Don't come to you. The only thing is, if I just stop there, I found a little bit, how can I say, tricky, is, you know, the ihram, the two pieces of cloth, like, we'll call it a big towel, right? It's keeping that on my shoulder. That was a bit hard, all right? So it kept on coming down, kept on coming down, kept on coming down. I had to kind of like put it and then tuck it in. But Alhamdulillah, my beloved companion that was there, my brother, he was behind me, and every time I fall off, he will pull it over and tuck it behind, right? Honestly, I was like, at some point, it's because of the amount of people, sometimes it comes off, and then I was like, oh, I'm just struggling with the big towel on me, yeah? When I say towel, it's that material towel, it's not really a towel. But yeah, I'll tell you the second time I went, right? So I'll get to that in a minute, what changes I made, right? So, yeah, you do your Safa Marwa, finish that, and obviously, look, right, that I'm going to show you a booklet, all right, that I used. That booklet has what to say when you get to a certain point. So you go to Safa, approaching Safa, we say a different dua. You stand at Safa, face the Kaaba, for example, and you say a dua. You get to the other side, you say a dua. There will be security guards pushing everyone on, because what happens, everyone gathers in one place, it becomes their thing is they just want everyone just to move, yeah? So don't be disheartened, just keep going, And then after you finish all that, basically, for men, you go and shave your hair, and for women, they cut a thumbnail's worth. Now, I've seen a lot of women, sisters rather, they were cutting the hair there and then. The way I kind of know about the knowledge of it is that you don't do it there. Go back to your hotel room. It's not something you have to do there and there, yeah? And for women to get the hair out, you know, it's not very, you know, there. It's just, it gets a bit crowded. I see a sister there like, getting a big pair of scissors, and she's got a group of people. I'm like, hey, you know, just go back somewhere to your hotel room. You can go get there and do it properly, right? For the brothers, obviously, look, once you finish your Umrah, you'll go out there, and there's loads of people out there who are barbers. They know that you need a head shave because you've got hair, you're coming out of that direction. So they will hustle you to go and get head shaved. Don't be disheartened. Go with wherever, as long as it's nearby, it's not too far. We just went with a brother. It was in one of the malls in the basement, and literally took about 5 minutes. And yes, I had very long hair. My hair was so long, it came up to my shoulders. I've been growing it. So one of the things people used to ask me is, brother, are you going to cut your hair? And I was like, yeah. But when I thought about it, I'm like, I've had my hair for so long and I've taken care of it. But when the thing that kind of got me through it, or got me out of that thought process, is that I'm shaving my hair as a virtuous act for the sake of Allah. You know, if I'm getting blessing from it, from being in the most blessed place in the whole world, I'll shave my hair over and over again. Honestly, I don't have any doubt about it. And when I shaved my hair, it was like this whole, not because of my hair coming off my head, right, that as well, but it's like the weight of hair coming off my head, right, for the sake of Allah. It just felt like, boom, it's just a whole weight coming off my head, honestly. And now, I have, you know, look, I'll show you guys, right, look. Amazing, it feels amazing. And now every day I literally, I got a machine, like one of the skull shavers, I do it, and it's less hassle than me doing my hair every morning. I used to wash my hair in the shower, wait for it to dry, put some conditioner on. It's just a hassle. It used to take me an additional 20 minutes because of now, you know, I don't even use shampoo. I just put some cream on my head, boom, I'm out the door. So the reason why I'm wearing a hat is because I've got a bit of a cold in my head. You know, having a bald head, it gets cold, right? But I am going to keep it shaved for a while because I'm going to Umrah again, by the will of Allah. I'm going to Umrah again. So now it's February, coming up to March, end of February, inshallah October. So please make dua for me. If you're watching it, please make dua for me. And obviously when I go there, I make dua for the whole Ummah. One of the rounds I made, I remember making dua for the whole Ummah, right? Making dua for anybody that's under hardship, anybody who's going for a struggle, anybody who's wants a dua to be answered. Ya Allah, you know, make the dua come true, inshallah. So yeah, once I got my head shaved, and that was it. That was Umrah done, right? So went to discover Makkah as a whole. So, you know, went to all the places, did a ziyarah. So we went to the places that has history behind it. And then we stayed in Mecca for about 4 days. But within those days, my friends were so dedicated. They were like, let's do another Umrah. So the first Umrah I did for myself, okay, that was done. Second Umrah I did it for somebody who's deceased, somebody who's unable. So you can do that. And every time it got easier. So the second time I went to make Umrah, obviously I knew we had to go back to Masjid Aisha. So again, I'm just skimming over the overview. So every time you do Umrah, and you put the haram, you must go back to the miqat point, which is the boundary. So you wait, kind of like do your intention from there and you come back. You can't really do another Umrah, boy. You're not supposed to do your Umrah by wearing the haram and going in again. Maybe you can fool the system, but you don't want to cut any corners by being there, right? It's like saying no one's going to know about it, but do you really want to go down that route? Nah, I don't think so. So do everything properly. And trust me, it's a journey. Like when we took the taxi from the hotel to Masjid Aisha, and Masjid Aisha is an amazing place, right? You have to go and check it out, and you will, inshallah. It's another masjid. It's beautiful, and there's cats everywhere. I have this amazing connection with cats. When I see cats, there's cats everywhere. Makkah, Medina, you will see cats everywhere, right? Just be a bit careful stroking them because they are street cats, so sometimes they may not be in the cleanest places, and sometimes they can scratch and bite as well. So just be a bit mindful. Don't go hugging it, right? But they are very cute, subhanAllah. So yeah. So what did we do? Masjid Aisha. Yeah. So you can go Masjid Aisha. We went Masjid Aisha. Took a taxi there, taxi back, easy, and then we did a Umrah. We did three Umrahs altogether. We could have done more. Honestly speaking, you might think to yourself after the first one, I'm done, I'm tired. But when you're back at your hotel, you'll be like, nah, man, I want to do another one. I want to do another one, and you'll go, because you want to make use of that time that you're there, right? You want to make use of the time, and you don't want to lose a moment. You don't want to lose a moment. Honestly, like you will. Where we stayed was right next to the Masjid al-Haram, right in front of the masjid. Basically, it was like a minute's worth of walk to the masjid, right? So every opportunity that we had, we made use of it, right? The hotel was just there, just a shower, go to the toilet and sleep. Nothing else. We were barely in the hotel room. It was a bit of a mess. Proper lads' room, right? Clothes everywhere. It was amazing. We didn't eat in the room. Any food that we ate, trust me, Makkah, Medina, you will be spoilt for food. Honestly speaking, I did one vlog there in Medina, but there was so many different places we went to, and one of the foods that we really loved while we're out there is traditional Bangladeshi food. I'll be honest with you, right? I've never met so many Bangladeshi people in one place, right? Every restaurant, every taxi driver, every person who was working there was Asian, either Bangladeshi, Pakistani, or Indian, right? Hardly met any Arabs apart from a few. But honestly, even with that, seeing Bangladeshi people who are working so hard, right, are reflected off that. I'm like, these people have gone from their land to a country that they may have not known the language of, and they're trying to adapt and whatnot, and they're away from the families. That really touched me. So everybody I came across, including the workers that work in the masjid, you'll see them sweeping, cleaning, and they keep it crisp. There's not one litter on the floor or something that can go on your feet, or you can walk barefooted knowing that it's absolutely clean. You can put your head and your nose down without any issue whatsoever, and they're cleaning constantly. And it just really, it touched me. It really did touch me. Seeing these people, a few of them went up and hugged them. And some of them told me about their struggles. The way they're living and stuff like that. And honestly, if you just look at or just hear the amount of money that they're earning per month, you'll be like, wow, I'll probably blow that in a meal. And anytime you see these brothers, just give them sadaqah. Me myself, I just got like a big note and I just broke it up into tens, fives, or whatever. And every time I went up to a handshake and I just gave him something, right? It may not be a lot, but it means something. And it kind of, every act of sadaqah, i.e. charity that you do, yeah, it's like another burden taken off you. You feel it when you're there. It's like, imagine this remote is something we give to somebody. You feel relief. You don't feel like, oh man, I need more money. Oh, that's my money, I'm giving away. You don't feel that. And one of the things, again, I don't know the exact hadith, like from when you go Umrah, it makes your wealth bigger. Like wealth increases. Now, could it be just money? Not necessarily. Remember, you might need health. Wealth doesn't mean just money itself. Wealth also means health. Wealth means prosperity within your family, success. There's a lot of things that mean wealth. It's not just, I'm going to get more money. No, because you might have a lot of money, but if your health is not good, then you might not be able to work. You might not be able to enjoy it properly. You might not be able to put hard graft into it. If you're strong, if you're able, if you're willing, if your mind's good, if your heart's good, then your wealth will increase. Look at that. It's not just you getting money, it's the health increases wealth. Okay? So anyway, so yeah, we got to eat in a lot of places and got to meet some amazing people. And yeah, we made the journey from Mecca to Medina by car, taxi, and honestly speaking, it was amazing, right? A lot of people say it's long. It's a 4 to 5 hour journey. But, you know, I was just sitting there, like, just watching the desert, you know, watching the desert, and it was amazing, like, you know, just thoughts just running through your head. And remember, I have not seen Medina. So I was like, how does Medina look? I heard it's beautiful, heard it's calm. People keep telling me, brother, when you go Medina, you'll feel peace. And seeing Mecca, which is quite vibrant, you know, it's very busy. There's a lot of people there. I was like, how's Medina going to be like? I'm telling you. When we got to Medina, it was like, it was dark, yeah. And I'm just looking at like, where's the masjid, right? And literally we got to the last part where you enter like the main part of Medina, and the brother was like, look, there you go. So when I saw Medina, it wasn't like how I saw the Kaaba. I was like, wow, that looks so beautiful, because all the lights were on, and it was just like, oh, that's, you know, I don't have to describe it. It was a calming feeling. The Kaaba was like, poof, like a big overwhelming feeling. Medina was like, wow, that's amazing. And I just felt really happy. Anyway, we went to pray in the masjid. Obviously, it was, the masjid is just, it's I don't know how to describe it. The easiest way I can describe Medina, right? The Prophet Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, his masjid, right, is like a piece of heaven. A piece of heaven. Every time you go and pray, it's like you're praying in a piece of heaven. There is a part in the masjid called the Rawda. The Rawda is basically a piece where from one part of that little place, yeah, from the where the Prophet stood, Sallallahu, and there's like a part there is basically a piece of heaven. If you pray there, you're praying a piece of heaven. Now, my unfortunate event in that part, when I say unfortunate, it's my own mistake. To go to that part, right, just a little part, don't worry too much about that part yet, but you'll know more about it. The Rawdah, Rawdah in English, is the part where you have to book to go in. Now, the way you book is through an app. It's called a Nusuk app, right? There's another app as well, but Nusuk is the main one. Now, on there's like slots. Okay, so you got to book a slot. So there's special time for man, special time for woman. And I was looking at the app. You won't never get like the slot come up until you keep looking. You have to keep looking. Every time you open your phone, just keep looking at the app. And a slot came up. And I was just literally messing about with my phone, and the slot came up. I booked it. Now, my mistake was, it said Sunday, 1 o'clock. I don't know what happened to me. So I thought Sunday, 1 o'clock, like after, it was 1 a.m. And I don't know why I thought I went on Monday and it was Monday, 1 a.m. Like, because it had gone past 12. I don't know what happened to me. I was just, obviously, with time it stands still. Honestly, when you're there, see a watch, you will not look at the watch. Because every time, you know from the adhan. So Fajr time, Dhuhr time, Asr time, Maghrib time, Isha time, you will know. Like, it's all kind of dedicated. You don't need to use the watch. And I went to the Rawda and they didn't let me in. Okay, and they're quite strict. They're quite strict. I was trying to explain, and the thing is, the brother who was there, he doesn't understand any English. So I was trying to explain to him, brother, and I showed him, and as soon as he saw that the time had gone, he was like, nah, go. And because there are so many different people trying to get in, everyone's got different excuses, like, oh, brother, I want to go in and stuff. So you can only go there once a year. In that Rawda part, not the masjid itself, the Rawda part, you can only go once a year. So basically, yeah, I can only go next year. But this time around, when I go to Umrah, I'm going to try. I'm going to find someone who said, right, you know what? Unfortunately, this is what happened last time. I didn't actually go in. I didn't get to go in. If I can get in, I can get in. If not, Allah has not opened that door for me. So, yeah, talking about the masjid, you know, it's amazing. I'm telling you, right? The vision that I had from videos, pictures, nothing like that. Honestly, nothing like that whatsoever. I asked my friends if they could smell it, but there was like this distinct fragrance in the air, right? And I don't know if you guys can see, I've got perfumes up here, right? I brought this from Medina. There is this distinct perfume, and I call it the Medina perfume. And it's in the carpet. When you put your head down for sujood, you will smell perfume. I don't know whether they spray something on the carpet. There's this beautiful green carpet. I actually brought a prayer mat back, right? It's the same carpet, basically, to give me a bit of a reminder about Medina. So, yeah, there's a distinct fragrance. My friend's like, yeah, you know, I can smell it. Yes and no, but I can smell it. And maybe it's just me. But I call it like sweet air. I always, you know, if you look at my video that I did in Medina, every time I describe it, it's like I'm breathing in the sweet air. Right, and this honestly it was. And again, there's Zamzam there, Zamzam everywhere. In the masjid, you'll go, there's tanks everywhere. Now, if you are going to fill up bottles, just be very careful. When I say be careful, like, it's difficult because the way the spout is designed, you're going to make a bit of a mess. Now, just bear in mind, other people are there with the bare foot and stuff like that. You might make a bit of a mess there. If it's busy period of time, the brothers will be like, no, not filling up bottle. But other times you can go and fill up bottle. And I believe somewhere in that masjid, there is a tap that it's a bit further away. You can fill it up. So you can buy these pouches, these blue pouches. They cost literally like £1, right? They're designed for water. So just go and fill that up. Take it back to your hotel, drink it, wherever. Just drink Zamzam. You will not drink normal mineral water. If you do, then there's something wrong going on there. Zamzam, you know, we in the UK spend, like, each tank, like, bottle is about 30-40 pounds, right? And it's come all the way. It's been sitting in a plastic what's it called, plastic container. There, it's from the well. Why would you go and buy mineral water, honestly speaking, right? Even if you go to a restaurant and, you know, you have a drink, just take that bottle with you, like a small bottle. In the hotels, if you're staying in a hotel, they give, like, in the rooms, you'll notice they give plastic water bottles. Just empty that out and take it to the masjid, then fill it up. And that way you can just keep it with you all day long, right? Nothing more beneficial than drinking Zamzam. Alhamdulillah. And do you know, when I call my family back here, so yeah, when you're calling, right, when I say do get yourself a SIM card, obviously depends, right? My friend was good, right? My companion, he didn't want to touch his phone, so he didn't buy a SIM card. He goes, bro, I'm there, I just want to forget about my phone. Me being me, obviously I wanted to film, I wanted to call a few people and whatnot, so I brought a SIM card. I believe it was like, it works about, I think, £20 or something, and you get like 50 gigs, and it's a Saudi SIM. So don't use anything from UK. I don't believe we have roaming there. So, you know, buy yourself a Saudi SIM card. The one I went for was called Mobily. It was really good. Just make sure your phone is unlocked. Literally, it's another SIM card. I believe it's the same as 3. So if you have a 3 SIM card and you enter Saudi, right, it will come up as Mobily. Don't use your SIM card from here, right? Just get yourself a SIM card from there. And it's a 30-day one. You know, after it finishes, you throw it away. As soon as we took off from Saudi, I got a text message like, thank you for visiting Saudi. And I was like, well, they know, right? And it disconnected straight away. So why did I say that? Yeah, with the phone, obviously, calling and stuff like that, I called my family back home and stuff like that, and I showed them Medina. I was like, look, you know, I'm this beautiful place. And those people that gave me advice about Umrah and stuff, I go, look where I am. Not to make them jealous, but I want you to share that moment with me. So I was like, Alhamdulillah, look where I am, bro. You know what I mean? So, yeah, talking about Zamzam, do make use of it, drink it everywhere you go. Yeah, so talking about why I mentioned the phone. So I call my family here, and first thing my friends and family were like, wow, you got this glow on your face. Now, I think to myself, it was nice weather, by the way. It was about 32, 35 degrees. It was hot, but it wasn't, you know, like in London, when you get 30 degrees, we get hot, right? The air's hot, we start buying fans, put the aircon on and this and that. It wasn't like that. It was hot, but it had a beautiful breeze to it. Because Medina is cooler. Mecca, on the other hand, is more, is hotter. So maybe it's humid, but we didn't feel that part. When we go to Medina, it started getting warm. But be very careful. If you're going to go out in a very light thobe in the night, for example, in the evening, just bear in mind Medina can get cold. But it all depends when you're going. When we went, it was February, remember? So we're just in that kind of winter, the Middle Eastern winter. And I went wearing just a simple thobe and sandals. and when I came back to the hotel, I had a bit of a sore throat because it was actually quite chilly. So yeah, my family were like, mate, you've got a beautiful glow in your face, and not because just of the sun, it's because I was drinking Zamzam every day. One of the things in London I wasn't doing is drinking enough water. You know, every time I went to a doctor, they're like, how much water do you drink? And I'm like, whatever's in my tea and coffee, and I might have the occasional drink like Ribena, but actually drinking 2-3 liters of water is something that I lacked. So imagine drinking Zamzam all day. That was, you know, that was like, you know, cleansing my system, and I was eating like good food there, like fresh. I wasn't eating. There's so much junk food there as well. Like you might get this fried chicken, McDonald's, Pizza Hut, all that. Nah, you know, there's specific reason why I didn't go there. But honestly speaking, if there's good food there, then eat that. It's more healthier. And that was one of the other goals that I had, is when I go Umrah, I want to really like change my lifestyle, like in terms of food. So coming back, I want to start eating fresh fruit, eating good food, exercising, just really looking after my health. You know, because I realized that, you know, in one of the days we climbed Jabal Nur, which is the cave of Hira. Cave of Hira is where Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, received the revelation of the Quran from Jibril salam, angel. So to climb that part is a mountain. Now, is it hard? For me, it was, because I'm really unfit, right? But there was people up there like 80, 90, 100 maybe, right, years old, walking up there with barefoot, and they made it look like it's nothing. And there I am. I had trainers on that day, right? Trainers. I took trainers, and I was like, but I think generally it's that mindset. Why are you going up there? And it's all kind of paved up quite nice. So that particular mountain, do have a research of it. It's made like you have steps going up, or you have a nice pave. It's not like you got to climb. The way I'm thinking, we have to climb rocks. You don't have to do that. Maybe when you get to inside the cave, I would say shave off for maybe a couple of pounds before you go in. That's all I can say. Don't worry about if you're claustrophobic. Honestly, if you're claustrophobic, take that all away. You don't feel it. If you're scared of heights, now I had a companion who went up with me. He was maybe a bit vertigo, a bit scared of heights, but I'm not too good with heights as well. But I was just, every time I turned around, I was admiring the beauty of the land. Makkah, you know, I was just, you can see the clock tower in the distance, right? The clock tower is, you'll probably notice from pictures and stuff, is a tower, a green tower, it's got Allahu written on it, it's got a clock on it. That's literally right in front of the masjid. So this is how I navigated around in Makkah. So I went off a couple of days on my own. We were there as friends, but we kind of did our own little things as well. And I used the clock tower as a reference point. The clock tower, wherever I went, I was like, yep, my hotel's there, because the hotel was right in front of the Masjid al-Haram. So I knew as soon as I get to the clock tower, wherever I am, I noticed, like, just keep yourself certain things you remember. Like there's a toilet there, it says WC2. Yeah? Sounds like a postcard, right? WC2. So whenever I met my friends, I'll say, meet us in front of WC2. So there's like a little space in front of it. So just keep your eyes open. There's also like an ice cream place. It's like a proper shop. So I remember the ice cream place. I remember there's a pharmacy there and stuff like that. So Mecca itself, right? Mecca itself, it has everything. So if you're planning on taking stuff with you, all right, again, I know I'm mixing stuff up here, yeah? So I'll talk about that in a second. So there's everything there. Pharmacy, clothes shops, food, everything is there, right? More than what you need here, honestly, right? So that leads me on to when you're packing, for example, if you're going the first time, depending on what flight you're going on. So I was able to take a small cabin luggage, and I took a big suitcase with me, the big one that goes inside the plane. Trust me, if you're a man from here, all you need is your ihram, the 2 pieces of cloth, sandals, and a few basic essentials like underwear and stuff like that, yeah? That's it. And obviously your passport, your ticket and stuff like that, right? That's it. Don't take thobes and stuff with you, right? Believe me, right, the thobes you buy in London that are 40, 50, 60 pounds, right? You will get there for like 7, 8 pounds. You got to haggle a little bit, but honestly speaking, it's going to be so much more cheaper. The same thobe I brought from here, the quality, better quality over there, right? I bought for like, it was like 50 riyals, 40 riyals, depending on obviously where you go. But trust me, right, you will come back with clothes. You'll come back with clothes. And when you buy stuff, obviously, bear in mind your weight that you have. So most of our weight got taken up by dates, right? So we went to this date farm in the part of Ziyarah for Medina, and we brought like the Ajwa dates, we brought Majul dates, and we brought Suhuri dates as well, right? But the Ajwa one brought big box, especially Ramadan is around the corner. So I thought to myself, right, you know, we buy dates from here, it's quite expensive, and they're not all that anyway, factory packed and whatnot. So yeah, when you go from here, honestly, you won't need nothing apart from your ihram and your basic essentials, right? Me myself, I didn't even take toiletries with me. In the hotel we stayed in, they gave shampoo, they even give a toothbrush. I took a toothbrush with me and I thought, there's a toothbrush here, I'll just use that. Most of the time I was using the siwak, the miswak stick. I don't know if I've got one here somewhere, so I brought a, there we go, look. You get, see this siwak stick here? You get a long one, and they just cut it up into pieces, and it's fresh. You just take a bit off, and just literally all I was doing is this. That, basically, right? SubhanAllah. So, saying all that, where was I? Yeah, so don't take anything from here, honestly speaking. Get yourself a side bag. It was really handy. I wish I could show you my side bag. I brought one for the market, and there's loads of different pockets in there. I kept my essentials. Now, depending on what hotel you're staying in, I left my passport, all my money in the safe. There's a safe there, proper safe. We left it in there. I could go through everything in detail, but it's going to make the video really long. I think I'm making it very long as well. So yeah, this is just an overview. So yeah, going back to Medina, honestly speaking, right, it's amazing. So we did a ziyarah with a company called Haramain Tours, right? They did a ziyarah for us. Ziyarah meaning that you go to all the places, they bring a vehicle for you, and it's like a tour guide, basically. They tell you what happened, where, the history behind it. You get to stop off at certain places, so do make use of that, right? I'll send you the link of Haramain Tours down below. So yeah, saying all that, what else? So yeah, Medina, it was a good experience. I think for us, we would have liked to spend more time in Medina because there's so much to explore there. There's so many different museums as well. And one of the things that stuck out for me is how big the actual masjid is. The Prophet's Masjid, sallam, the masjid is massive. And when we went on the tour, the brother who showed us how the masjid, he had like a little book with him, yeah? So it showed how the masjid was just like literally, it's like a straw hut kind of thing, right? And that's where Prophet Muhammad, his house was, his wife's house was, I'll be pleased with her, and how it expanded. So after he passed away, where he was buried, and then the companions were there buried, and how the masjid expanded around that, right? It just, every single Khalif, as in leader there was afterwards, they built a certain part. So afterwards the domes got added. Then afterwards certain, like it started expanding a certain, but the house of Prophet Sallam and where he was buried, that stayed the same. So that stayed and it just built around it kind of thing. And then afterwards obviously the dome got added on and stuff like that. And honestly, it would make so much more sense when you're there. Because honestly, when I used to watch pictures and videos and stuff, it didn't make any sense. I thought, you know, it just, how big is the masjid? And you don't get the full context of it. So honestly speaking, once you're there and you go to the grave of Prophet Muhammad, and you give your salams, right, you're there, you're right next to him. When you're praying, right, you're praying right next to him where he's buried. You're putting your feet, your head down in a place where he put his head down. You know, so like every part of the masjid, something's happened there, right? Somebody's been there. One of the Sahabas, one of the companions, they've been there, right? And then I think on the last day, I think it was, we went to Jannat al-Baqi, which is where all the Sahabas, the wives are all buried there, and also the people that have passed away in Medina. And someone told me the best place to pass away, the best place in the world to pass away is in Medina. So obviously in my mind I'm thinking like, you know, Ya Allah, if I want to pass away, we always make that dua like, make me die in a good way, right? Not doing anything haram. Make me die in a righteous way. And I thought to myself, you know, one of the du'as I made is make me pass away here. But that feeling of being in Jannat al-Baqi, for example, is very calming, and you do reflect of it. Like when you're there, you think all these people, they have fought for us to be here today. For i.e. like the religion of Islam to thrive. The hardship that they had when they for example, migrate to Medina, like, it's nothing that how we can compare ourselves to. Although even the hardship that we have in our daily lives, we've got it good. We've got it good. We just complain too much. And all that but whizzes through my head, like, how good have I got life back in the UK? My house, car, family, bits and pieces, whatever it is, the assets that I have. To be here, it just strips you away, and you think to yourself, Ya Allah, you know, you will honestly say to yourself, every time you reflect, you'll be like, Ya Allah, I've got it so good. You will thank Allah. You will thank Allah. And then, yeah, leaving Makkah Medina, obviously, you know, I'm not going to go into it, I'm going to get very emotional. So, trying to keep the emotions in. So, hence that's why I was kind of like trying to whiz through it as much as possible. But, you know, when the memories hit you, honestly, it breaks you down. Alhamdulillah. Anyways, guys, let me not talk about it too much, otherwise I won't be able to continue. So that's my experience of going Umrah, honestly speaking. And you know, somebody told me that once you go, you will want to go back over and over again. That's honestly, you will come back and be like, you know, you might be planning that trip to Istanbul or wherever, right? The best holiday, the best getaway, the best place to go is Umrah, to Makkah, Medina. And you might do it the other way around. The experience that I had was from Makkah and Medina. I just wanted to do the hard part, not hard part, but the Umrah first and then Medina afterwards. But you'll see people do it the other way around. They'll go and relax in Medina, explore Medina, and then they'll go do Makkah. That's absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. This time around, obviously, I've kind of booked more or less everything manually. So booking the same hotel, the flights I did myself, and yeah, inshallah, you know, we're going in October, so really looking forward to it. When you're there, let go of everything. Let go of everything that you possibly get annoyed by, burdened by. Honestly, just go and do it, right? Let go of everything. Even don't wait for people. My advice to you, honestly speaking, don't wait for people. If you have that friend of yours that you've been telling, oh, bro or sis, let's go, let's go, let's go, and they're always giving excuses, honestly, right? If no one else is going, go with the group at least. Go with the group. There are some groups you will go with. Obviously, you'll be with them, but then you can have your own time. Sometimes they might split up and say, right, you know, meet back at the hotel. You might go and have your own time to just get stuff off your chest. If you're going, for example, if you're planning going with your parents and they might be old or whatever, yeah, don't worry about it. Everything there is so, how can I say, it's so easy. Like, for people with wheelchairs, there's a separate part where the wheelchairs go around. Even in Safa Marwa, you know, the two mountains that you, when I call it mountains, it's literally like a passage that's been already done. It's marble floors, and it's not you're going to be walking in dirt or anything like that, yeah? It's like you're indoors, basically. So it's all planned. And for people with wheelchairs, it's actually easier. You get privileges of being at the front or making way and stuff like that, honestly speaking, right? Even at the Prophet ﷺ, his masjid, when you're going to give salam, the people in the wheelchair, they get priority because they're right at the front. So it's so easy, honestly, it's so easy, right? If you're thinking, oh, who's going to push my mum or my dad around, you can do it yourself. But if you're unable to do so, there's people there. You can give a couple of riyals to whatever, and they can help you. These people are there to help. You can actually get mobility scooters and whiz around, basically. It looks pretty fun, right? And my message to anybody who's watching this video who might be contemplating, it's not my time, I'm not praying, I'm not knowledgeable enough, I'm not religious enough, right? Excuses, excuses. Honestly, mate, sis, book it. Just go ahead and just book it in. You will live to regret it if you don't. Honestly, take my word. I'm not trying to. I'm saying it from my heart. It's not me bragging. Oh, look, I've been Umrah. Honestly, if you're one of those people that are not praying, that think to yourself, I'm lacking in my deen, I'm lacking in my religion, I've been doing crazy stuff, bad stuff, haram stuff, I'm far from religion, the only thing that stands for me is my name as a Muslim. You are the person that needs it the most. Trust me. You will come back, and if you're thinking, oh, how's life going to be when I come back? I have to pray all the time, my life has to change. It will be automatic for you. Honestly, every time now, when you come back, you will miss a prayer. You will feel like there's a part of that day that's missing for you. There's something in that day that's not been fulfilled. Yeah? You might have done everything. If you miss your prayers, you'll be like, you will feel guilty. Let me put it like that to you. Not even intentionally, you would just feel it. You would just feel it. So go. Honestly speaking, you need to go. You need to go. You need to go. Don't plan. Don't hesitate. Trust me. Record this part. Take the snapshot. You will come back to me and say, brother, you know what, yeah? Or whatever, whoever tells you, you'll be like, you know what? How did I all these years think to myself, it's not my time? And if someone's holding you back, then you go. You influence them. Sometimes you might come back and feel that those particular people now are away from you now. They're pushed away because you've your thoughts process a bit different. Then Alhamdulillah, those people weren't the right people for you. The way I put it now, right? I've always put to myself, Ya Allah, Ya Allah, keep those people who are beneficial to me to come to you, to think of you, to do what you want to do, us to do as Muslims. Keep those people around. Keep those people who are good with you. It might be one or two people. You might be somebody that knows 500-600 people, right? Your phone book is all filled up and you're a very popular person on Instagram or social media, whatever it is, yeah? If that's not bringing you any benefit to be close to Allah, then mate, you're going down the wrong way, right? Because this dunya, I'm not trying to talk to you like a teacher or a scholar or anything like that, yeah? One thing I realized that, how long have we actually got in this world, right? Going back maybe hundreds of years, right? Maybe not hundreds of years, but whatever, yeah? Life expectancy, generally, if you look at our forefathers, grandmas, granddad, they lived for quite a while, right? Like 80, 90, 100. Nowadays, do people live up to that age, right? There's a certain hadith, obviously I don't know the hadith of Bahar, but Prophet ﷺ said there's a part of my ummah that will live to 60, maybe 70, and maybe a little bit more. So as age goes on, as generations go on, the life expectancy comes shorter. I don't know what it is. Maybe stress, maybe the way we're living, the thing that we're eating. Look at us. Most of the time we're eating processed food. Even we eat organic. How organic is it? And the wear and tear of life, with everything that's going on in this world, the food crisis, like for example, the inflation's going up. We're stressed out. And the biggest killer is like the hardest thing that really hits people is stress. You get blood pressure, diabetes, everything else, poor sleep, issues with families and stuff. It all comes from this daily stuff, right? And one of the things I want to finish off with, right? It may not happen to everyone. When you book your Umrah or your Hajj, right? I'm not just talking about Umrah, I'm talking about Hajj as well, or anything in life, when you want to do something good, that's the moment when everything that's going to try to push you away from that will happen, right? So, I don't know, example, right? You book your Umrah trip, then some financial thing happens, right? You have a loss of something. You have to, like, maybe the washing machine breaks down, and you think to yourself, crap, I gotta buy a new washing machine that's worth £600 or whatever it is, yeah? You think, no, I'm not gonna have money from Umrah. Don't let that stop you. Have that intention. Have that intention, right? You might think to yourself, I don't need a washing machine. I'm gonna wash all my clothes by hand now, or take it to a laundrette. You will find a way, but don't be put off. Don't be put off. You might have that one person drop off from the trip. That's your loss, my bro or sis. Yeah, you're going to go. Think to yourself, you're going to go. One of the advice, right, this time round that I booked Umrah, for me and my family. There's been some issues come up, right? Not just financially, other things as well, right? Between ourselves. One of the things that one of the companions I went with, he said to me, bro, you're going to go on this trip no matter what. And I'm going, no matter what. If Allah wills. Sorry guys, I know it may seem, why is this brother getting emotional, but honestly, right? When you got a lot of stuff going on in your life, this will change you. This will change you. So, okay, so let me conclude this video. Jazakallah khair for watching, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us all the ability to go Umrah, to go to His house, and may He give us the ability to go over and over again. You know, there's a lot of people, honestly speaking, right, there's a lot of people who don't have that money, right? Umrah, Hajj is not a cheap, how can I say, it's not affordable for everyone. For the likes of people who work in a good job or live in the West, we might be able to save that £200, £300 a month, right? There's, again, remember, the prices of whatever is still going to be the same for everyone, no matter where they're from. So we might be able to afford it, people whose currency is heavier or stronger, but there's a lot of people around the world that this will be like a dream that will never come true, right? Honestly speaking, because of their situation. So let's be grateful for that we have the ability to do so. Yeah, there's some people who will save up their whole life savings. You might hear of stories that they've booked in with a certain people or group or person that they've lost their money because they've been kind of misled, or the person disappeared with money. My advice to that is book through reputable companies, right? If you go once, right, I'm telling you, you'll be so confident enough. If you go once, that next time around you don't need a tour guide or anything. You just book it yourself. You would know what flights are good, what planes are good, how to go there, because everything's so easily laid out. Honestly, like when you go there, there's nothing like, oh, I don't know what to do, where to go. Once you go, kind of, my advice to you, like, note the taxi rates, right? From, let's say, Jeddah to Makkah is a certain rate. Obviously, it's going to change, right, depending on what season and how long after you go. But just to make a mental note, how much certain things are, you know, just, this was me, I just made a mental note. So this time round, if I jump into a taxi and he tells me, bro, there's 1,000 riyals, I'm like, nah, mate, I know what the rates are. So be confident, right? And network, get to know people. When you go to a restaurant, when you go to any clothes shop, get to know people, right? So you can recommend friends and family to go there. They'll be like, I'm going to send my family to come to you. There's one brother, Alhamdulillah, right? I went to his shop, he sells perfume, and he sells like perfume, that's really good quality perfume. This is not just basic perfume. They're really, I'm wearing a perfume now. This perfume I rolled onto my, like, look, something like this. See that? That's kind of like a replica of the Maqam Ibrahim. Sorry, that's one part I missed here. Maqam Ibrahim, do look at that. It's where Ibrahim alayhi salam, he stood on this platform when the Kaaba, when his son was making, him and his son was making the Kaaba. So the footprints are there. It's a bit hard to get to because of the rush, but basically it looks like this. It looks like this. It's like this gold, how can I say, I don't know how to describe it, like a structure. And then in there, right, you'll see, if you look inside it, there'll be the footprints, inshallah. So yeah, get to know it, do your studies, and you know, before you go, just, there's loads of videos out there that can tell you. I mean, my big thanks to all those people that made vlogs and videos and stuff when they were in Makkah. It gave me an insight to what to expect, what to do, etc. So you learn. There's one type of book as well in one of my other videos that I talk about. Basically, it tells you what Umrah is, what to do. So just, and also just ask people. Everyone will have different experiences. Like, people will give you different insight, how they felt, what to do. Just take all that on board. Nothing's right and nothing's wrong. Just take that all on board, and knowledge is key, right? You don't, again, you don't have to know what to read and stuff like that, but just take an overview and take all the info, and that's it. Yeah. That's my dear brothers and sisters. I just wanted to just give you that insight, an overview, and honestly speaking, like, it's been, like, I'd say it's been a couple of weeks now, just under 2 weeks. I've come back, and I feel so different. I feel so different. Like, everything now is just chilled. My mind is so chilled. Like, trying to get back into normality, you will, but you might feel a bit spaced out because your mind, your heart is still over there. So I pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that my mind and heart stays over there. Obviously, I need a bit of sanity here in terms of knowing what to do, but that kind of feeling, I never want it to leave. Jazakallah khair. Thank you for watching. Make dua for the ummah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alleviate any hardship that any Muslim is going through around this world. Especially those brothers and sisters that are going through hardship in the land of Gaza, land of Palestine, and anywhere, not just there. There's so many people that we forget due to a certain situation, you know, where it be at Syria, where it be at Baghdad, where it be in Bosnia, where it be even in our neighbours themselves. So if you have neighbours that are going through hardship, you will see that people here in the UK or America, wherever you're watching this from, your neighbour might be going through harder hardships, you know, that you might not be aware of. Like, you know, behind closed doors, what do we know? What kind of life are they living? Are they able to afford food for their kids? Are they able to pay off the rent? They might have family that they need to send money back home. So there's so much going on. But the most powerful thing what we can do is make dua. Just remember, every time you finish your salah, make dua for the ummah. I'm not talking about getting into a big congregation and hundreds of people are making dua. I'm not talking about just by yourself. Just by yourself. Just make that sincere dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will accept, inshallah. Once again, Jazakallah khair. Look after yourselves. Make sure you hit the subscribe and like button so that it helps me, encourages me to make other beneficial videos, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu.